Next on, we'll have a look at how to froth milk for latte art. So first of all, we'll see what kind of equipment we need. We need a little milk jug, like this one here, to pour our milk in, and that we will use where we have our milk in when we are frothing it. In this video, we'll also use an espresso machine to froth our milk, and with the espresso machine, we're going to use the steam wand, which is this little friend here, to froth our milk. And of course, we'll also need some milk that we are going to steam, and for that it will be best to use some whole milk, but you could also use skim milk or soy milk to achieve some microfoam and make some latte art with. However, with the skim milk and also with the soy milk, you'll need to practice a bit more and work around a few issues to get some great latte art with that. When you're filling the milk into your milk jug, you want to make sure that you're using the right amount of milk. To determine that, there's an easy trick that you can use with your milk jug. So, in most cases, or actually in all cases with these little stainless steel milk jugs, it will be best to pour the milk in so it just reaches the bottom of this little lip here. And when you have this kind of amount of milk that just kind of rises to the middle of your milk jug, you can make sure that this is the right amount of milk that you're using. Now, why don't you want to use more milk or less milk? If you use more milk than that, you're running the risk of overflowing your milk jug while you're heating the milk. This is because frothing your milk will kind of result in increasing the volume of your milk. You'll have more milk in your jug, and ideally you'll also be circulating the milk in your jug. So the more milk you're circulating in the jug, the higher it will raise, and if you have too much milk in there, it will just overflow and you'll be making a big mess everywhere in your kitchen. And if you don't have enough milk in your milk jug, what can happen is you may not achieve the desired Whirlpool effect with your milk. This is why it is important to have exactly the right amount of milk in a milk jug, and for that, just make sure that it just rises up to, or it reaches this point where the lip comes out of the jug. When you start steaming the milk, you want to make sure that the steam wand is turned completely off. Now, with the steam wand off, you will submerge the tip of the steam wand in the milk jug and just have it sitting slightly under the top of the milk there. Once you have submerged the steam tip in the milk jug, you can turn the steam power on. And with most espresso machines, you can only really choose between 100% steam pressure on or no pressure at all. That said, just turn your steam wand on and start frothing your milk. When you turn the steam wand on, you want to make sure that right after you turn it on, you lower the milk jug a bit. The reason for that is, when you turn it on, you have the tip submerged slightly. What you will hear is a squealing noise. And it's like a squealing pig kind of noise. And what that says is, well, you're heating your milk, but you're not aerating it. You're not creating any microfoam or whatever. And therefore you wanna, lower your jug a little bit so that the steam wand will kind of near the surface of the milk. Then, when it gets to the surface, it will start to aerate the milk. And you hear this good old, whatever you call this noise in English, that signals that you're aerating your milk. You're starting to create some microfoam in that milk. And you really only want to be doing that for, I'd say, 3 seconds, depending on what kind of beverage you're planning to prepare. If you're making a latte or cappuccino, I suppose 3 seconds would be alright. If you're doing a flat white, you'll be good with 2 seconds. But that also depends on the steam pressure of your coffee machine. If you have a high steam pressure and it's really getting a lot of steam out, you want to not be aerating it as much as with a home espresso machine, for example, because a lot of the home espresso machines, the steam pressure is rather low and it takes quite a while to aerate the milk. A good indicator whether you've finished aerating your milk or not is that the squealing noise disappears. If your milk stops squealing while you're aerating it and frothing it, then that is an indicator that you have aerated enough and you can go to the second stage of the frothing process. When you're done aerating your milk, it is time for the second stage of the frothing process, which is integrating and getting a whirlpool going that ensures that all your milk is going to be nice and silky at the end. To achieve that, we'll raise the jug back up again and to the point where we started. We also want to make sure that the steam tip is pointing into the jug at a slight angle, but you have to play around with the position of the steam wand a fair bit to see what will be the best position to get a whirlpool effect going. So the whirlpool effect is the point where your milk starts to circulate in your jug. It will either look like this kind of little whirlpool-y thing, or you can just see that it's kind of circulating in an even motion in the jug, and there's like little wavy things going on in the jug. And that indicates that your milk is circulating in the right way, and you're making sure that the microfoam is kind of spreading evenly over the whole jug in the milk, and that the whole milk is going to be integrated and nice and silky. You will know that you've finished frothing your milk when it reaches a certain temperature. There are two ways of measuring the temperature. First, you could put a little thermostat in there and just watch the temperature rise while you're frothing your milk. Once the temperature hits 60 degrees Celsius, you want to turn the steam wand off, and what you'll notice is that the temperature will still rise to about 65 degrees. And 65 degrees is a pretty great temperature for your milk when you're using it for latte art. The other way of measuring your temperature would be to hold your hand against the side of your milk jug and wait for the milk jug to become that hot that it's going to be uncomfortable to touch it. So once you can't hold your hand on the milk jug anymore, the milk will have reached a temperature that is desired for your latte art. And then you can turn the steam wand off and pour the milk straight away. Frothing your milk really isn't all that complicated. There's only a few things you have to look at. First of all, you want to make sure that you're using the right amount of milk, so fill it up to the point where the lip of the jug starts. Then you want to make sure that you're aerating the milk properly, so try to get rid of the squealing noise as soon as possible. Get a little hissy kind of noise that indicates that you're aerating the milk properly. Afterwards, you want to make sure that you get a whirlpool effect in, so the milk will be integrating nicely, and you'll make sure that you have this nice microfoam popping up, and you'll end up with some very nice silky milk. And lastly, you want to make sure that you're not overheating the milk, so make sure that that the jug will be uncomfortable to the touch, or that you turn the milk off once the thermostat reaches 60 degrees Celsius. That said, steaming your milk really is all about practice. Make sure that you practice it a lot and that you get all the steps down, and hopefully you'll get some great microfoam soon and you'll get some silky milk that will be awesome for latte art. Now let's get on to the next video.